Mary had never been to England and she knew nothing about her uncle, who was her mother's brother. She was told that he lived in a big old house in the country and that he was a hunchback. This frightened Mary. She thought too about Yorkshire and the place where she was going to live. She knew only that it was called Misselthwaite Manor and that Yorkshire was in the north of England. So now what happens was, Mary had no family in India, right? So what she did was, she went to England to live with her uncle. And the uncle's name was what? Archibald Craven. Underline Archibald Craven. And Archibald Craven was Mary's mother's brother. So underline Mary's brother. She was told that he lived in a big old house in the country. So what happened was, now she knew, like someone had told her that uncle lived in an old big house in the country, and also he was a hunchback. So Archibald Craven was a hunchback person, and that made Mary a little bit scared. And now she was thinking all the way about the place where she is going to live. And she just knew the place, Misselthwaite Manor, which is a place she is going to live anymore. One of Mr. Craven's servants, Mrs. Medlock, met Mary in London. She was a fat woman with a red face and little black eyes. Mary did not like her at all, and Mrs. Medlock did not seem to like her very, very much. So now what happened was, one of Mary's uncle's servant, which is Mr. Craven's servant, was named as Mrs. Medlock, and now she met Mary in the London. Okay, and now they're explaining us about the appearance of Mary, Mary's servant. So she was a fat woman. Mrs. Medlock was a fat woman with a red face and little black eyes. So Mary didn't like her at all, and Mrs. Medlock also didn't seem like she likes her. Okay. During the journey to Yorkshire by train, Mary sat silently and looked out of the window. She had nothing to read, and she looked ugly and cross. Her black dress made her look colorless and ill. Since her mother and father's death, she had begun to think strange thoughts. She had begun to wonder why she always felt so alone. Other children seemed to be part of a family with their mothers and fathers, but even when her mother and father were alive, she had never seemed to be a part of the family. So I told you, right, the reason behind her rudeness, her cross attitude was she never got a time with her parents. She never got the affection, the care, the love from her parents. So she was all alone, living with the servants. So that changed Mary. And now she was thinking, she was so silent throughout the train ride, and her black dress, she was wearing a very black dress, and that made Mary look even more uglier, and she was with very, very strange thoughts. She had begun to wonder, like she's thinking, why is she all alone when all the other children are with the parents? Why is she the only person who's without the mother and father? Children of her age are living with their parents, going everywhere, and now her mother and father were not alive, but still when they were alive also, no one was there with Mary. Okay, so far up to this I have completed. So with the next session I'll meet you all. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.